Hey guys, Deanna here with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. Support for Label Free Podcast is brought to you by Impression Derma, who has experienced increased exposure to HEV light over the last year and a half. I know I have. If you don't know what HEV light is, let me educate you. HEV light is emitted from your phone, tablet, and computer that penetrates deep into the skin, which can lead to wrinkles and increased harm, leaving permanent damage. As an avid skincare lover myself, I have found a solution that protects you from those harmful lights. Let me introduce you to Impression Derma Let's Face It. This product will increase collagen, promote hydration, improve elasticity, halt premature aging, and shield against those free radicals, all by using these key ingredients: algae, buriti oil, bamboo extract, raspberry seed oil, bloom light, plus many others that are sustainably sourced and produced as well as ethically traded. Please head to impressionderma.com and use code labelfree20 for 20% off. Again, please head to impressionderma.com and use code labelfree20 for 20% off. What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Kuempel with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. I've got a really cool guest. You know I love my trainers. My guest is from New Jersey. He is an ACE certified personal trainer, an ACE certified fitness nutrition specialist, certified brain health trainer through the Functional Aging Institute, also has a black belt in Karate Do. Please welcome Zack Rutledge. Zack, thank you for joining me today. In the audience, can you please introduce yourself and give us a little bit about your background?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited. Yeah, so you covered a lot there. Yeah, personal trainer and, nutrition specialist and brain trainer. Yeah, I did karate for about 8 years. And then my new martial art is yoga. I'm actually in the process of becoming a certified yoga instructor. So that'll be done in a couple months. But I've been doing yoga for about 10 years. Love it. And I guess the biggest news lately is I just got into grad school to become a licensed therapist. So I start that in a few months. So that'll be great too.
I love that. No, that's really, you are definitely multifaceted, but all on the health and wellness and fitness type of focus.
Oh, it's a passion for sure.
Which, you know what, we need more people like you. I feel like that's something that's really lacking in our society. I'm very passionate about it. I believe in supplementation. I do yoga. I'm a bodybuilder. Like I told you, I'm a certified trainer, nutritionist, life coach as well. So I have like a lot of that same background. Like I told you, I can't take on clients. I get too invested, but I do feel like it's necessary that we have that people like you and I talk more about health and wellness, because we get told on the TV all the time, like all the drugs that we should take from all these pharmaceutical companies, but we're never really told how we're supposed to like maintain our health and wellness.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Doctors at least I know until recently, doctors weren't even having any classes in nutrition. It was all on treatment and nothing on preventative measures.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I do think the culture's changing. I do think we're headed in the right direction as far as prevention.
You think so? Okay. Well, that's good to know. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I see is when I go to the gym and I'm there doing my cardio, because I try to train twice a day. Like I do my cardio in the morning, and then I lift at night. But that's like the bodybuilding mentality. Just like, because I'm a competitor. I compete in figure. I was actually 2 weeks out last year when everything was shut down. I was like ready to go. I probably would have won like all my shows that I was headed to, but all I see is all these commercials on TV for all these different medications. Oh, it'll help this, but you'll get this, and this, and this.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, right now there's people, everybody has a voice, and there are people like us kind of poking out. I don't want to say put us up on a pedestal, but there are, people out there speaking out about, hey, prevention is more important. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I really believe that. Yeah.
I completely agree. So why don't you tell us a little bit like how you go about with your clients, and what because I see here you've spent almost 20 years researching depression and the methods to help anyone suffering. So that's a big thing too that you are incorporate with I'm assuming your training.
Yeah, that's the big thing I'm doing right now, right? Is I wrote the book. So I wrote the official depression relief playbook, and so that's the big thing, and that happened. that was kind of like, so my friend said COVID was kind of like shaking the leaves from a tree. So
Yeah.
I was doing video production for years and years,
Oh, wow.
and training was just my side gig. And COVID hit, I lost that job, and I was like, okay, so what do I really want to do?
Yeah.
And I had a lot of people reaching out to me over the years, but especially after COVID, people reaching out to me being like, man, how do I deal with this? So what I was doing was I was going back and compiling all these old emails that I had written to other people throughout the years. I was like, wait a minute, this is crazy. How about I just make it into one package, you know? And so that way it's available to anyone. So it's, it took a couple months, every day just sitting down and just working through it. And next thing you know, I had a pretty decent book that I'm really proud of, actually. So
And so that you've already released it, or
yeah, it's
is it?
released.
So
It's out.
I mean, I actually love this. Can you kind of tell us like a little, cliff notes of what the book does and how it helps people?
Sure. Well, it's only available on Amazon. I don't have a huge social media following because I don't concentrate on that kind of stuff. Uh, I'm kind. It's just kind of like the law of attraction type thing, right? I just figure if I put out something quality, they'll find me, and it's more of a passion than a business for me.
Sure.
So, I mean, of course, I want people to read it.
Yeah.
So, the big things that I think make this different as opposed to others is, number one, I lived it.
Yeah.
A lot of people writing these books uh, don't they don't know what it's like, and the other thing is I take into account all the different, I call them flavors in the book, right? There's all different types of different feelings and different causes of depression. So you can
Sure.
feel, you can be dysthymic, which is that low level depression when something big hits, you fall into a deeper state. But there's all different types. Um, so what I did was I came at it from the D-Day approach, is what I call it. So you could have, well, this is interesting, an interesting side note, but it's related. So some people believe depression, a major cause, is actually a digestive issue. So they're giving people probiotics because
Mhm.
you actually create more serotonin in your gut than you do in your brain.
Yeah.
Okay. However, I don't think there's a silver bullet. I think that may work for some people,
Right.
right? For some people, it's an injury, a head injury. For
Yeah.
some people, it's PTSD.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I come at it from the D-Day approach. We hit it from, the physical structure, which is through your training and your nutrition, your supplementation. I give all those. I even give a real it's a really good recipe. I love it. I drink it every day. It's a great shake, but it's
What is
delicious.
it?
It's healthy.
Sure.
Okay. Well, you have to like chocolate. That's the thing.
Okay. Well, I
It has
think a lot
cocoa.
of people like chocolate, so
Okay, yeah, it's got cocoa powder and it's got banana, berries, cinnamon. It's delicious. I love it. It's totally vegan, gluten free, all that kind of good
yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so I come at it from all kinds of different angles, including mindset stuff. And you know what? While I'm thinking of it, since that's kind of like the harder one to talk about, the mindset stuff, not for emotional reasons, just for to get into the weeds with the like the mindset, like how to kind of think your way around it and get yourself
Sure.
in the right direction.
Mhm.
If anybody wants, any of your listeners, shoot me an email and I'll just send them that chapter on me.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Free chapter. I'm gonna write that
yeah.
down so you can add that in the description of the episode. Well, that's cool. And what's the chapter on again?
I just call it mindset. And
Mindset.
it's the second chapter. And that kind of gears you up because I know what I would have wanted to see when I was 20. I know what would have
Yeah.
would have actually worked, as opposed to people telling you snap out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm one of those people that tell people to snap out of it.
Yeah.
But I know that depression is, there's many different layers, and I've definitely felt depressed in my life. If I have one of those days, I allow myself that day just to feel it, just
Yeah.
to be in that whole feel of it. But then I decide, okay, tomorrow's a new day. I'm going to shake this off, and I'm going to
Yeah.
get up, and I'm going to I'm going to keep going because I
See,
have.
that's the trainer. That's the trainer in you, right? Because you have that go behind you. And that's a big part of that chapter too, is like getting, like, you have to do the work. There's
Yeah.
no other way to put it. You have to do the work. It's not going to come to you. You've got to go after it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, like so. I mean, there are days that I have back-to-back recordings with this. My podcast has been great. I love it. I talk to amazing people like yourself, and like There are days I wake up and like, I really don't want to do this today. But
Yeah.
you know what? Even though you feel like you don't want to do, you still just have to show up for yourself. And then once you get in the groove, even if someone is suffering from that depression and not wanting, just you put one foot in front of the other and you
Yeah.
just go and you make it happen. And once you get into it, you realize that probably some of that depression has fallen away.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Very cool. Well, I love that. I'm going to put that in the description of the episode. But you have some questions here. Do you want to talk more about the book, or can we get into some of these questions?
Whatever you want to do. I am your guest here.
Oh, okay. I actually love that you have kind of put all this together to help with depression. I mean, especially like you said, like right now after COVID, I know a lot of people, even for me, family members have been really depressed. I
Mm,
know that I was doing some Zoom calls with my family, and we were just doing like we were reading the Bible because we believe we're Christian people,
mhm.
and my one aunt just kind of fell apart, just start crying so hard, and I'm like, whoa, like that's why we're here right now, to like be each other's support system and to help each other get through this. And then even I have a sister that she's had such a hard time with it too. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that they weren't being very active during this time.
Yeah.
I personally, like, I set up more of a gym in my basement.
Yeah.
I was like still like trying to keep myself active, because for me, like that's my how I keep my sanity.
Yes, of course.
You
Of
know.
course. That was the biggest saving grace for me was I kept my clients and we were teaching through Zoom. I was
Oh,
teaching
good.
group fitness and that just saved me. You
Yeah,
know, yeah.
that's awesome. Did a lot of your clients show up for that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's good. Yeah. So you're talking about yoga. I actually do yoga. I love this place down the street. It's hot yoga. They have infrared heat lights or whatever you
Oh
want to
yeah.
call them. And it's just, I love it. It's the instructors are the best. And I try to get there at least once a week just because I do weight train. I'm in my 40s and I want to make sure that I'm staying limber so I don't get an injury.
Yeah. Yeah, and yoga is great for that, right? Like it shores up all the things. Because I remember my first yoga class about 10 years ago, and I had come from a fitness background, and I was sore in all these places I didn't know I should have been sore, and so like it fills in all those gaps, right? It's great. It's like a magical thing. But so okay, so I've never done the hot yoga.
Okay.
So the first time you did it, so can you tell me about that?
First, well, I was in my 20s and it was an hour and a half class
Good
down in the
Lord.
city, so in Chicago. And I remember like I'm like vaguely remembering it because it's been so long. And I just like I loved it, super intense, but I had to take a break to get
Yeah.
through it because an hour and a half is a long time. So the longest I go here is an hour and 15 minutes. That's all they offer.
Now,
Yeah.
do you get dizzy and stuff? I'm nervous to do it myself.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
But you just take a break. You just get down into child's pose and you just kind of like reset and you go maybe at a slower pace until you kind of adjust to the heat. And there have been times that I have come in after having like, going out with my girls and drinking wine. So that's not always the best. But I'm super detoxed after I'm done.
See, that's a sign of I would say that that's a sign of your experiences knowing that you need to take that child's pose,
Yes.
right? Because you put in the work and you put in and I'm assuming when you were in your by the time you'd done this, you'd already been working out for a while,
Oh
right?
gosh.
And you were in tune with your body. So if you have some dude off the street going into there, that's why I hear about so many people. I think like I know people who have passed out.
Oh
But
yeah.
they're going in and they're going with that ego mindset, right? They're
Yeah.
like, I don't need a break, I don't need a break, I don't need a break, done.
No, yeah, no,
So
no.
yeah, that's a sign of like I call it like a somatic maturity you had there. It's like, hey, my body just needs to take this break. This is something new. So that's really good. You did that.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
think I'm pretty in tune with my body. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
one thing that I'm actually really proud of. Because like if I start feeling, even if I'm starting to feel a little sick, like I'm like, okay, pump the brakes. Cause I'm like type A. Sounds like you're type A too. Like I'll just go, 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 go. I'll just keep going. you know? So when I'm starting to feel like, okay, I'm starting to feel a little worn down. This is not a good sign. I need to like pull it back. I need to rest, force myself to watch TV or something like that.
Hmm.
Because um, that's just you have to be aware. you know, and
Dude,
I don't think people are that, I don't understand that, but you have to be aware of what's going on with this.
that's true wisdom right there, for real. Honestly,
Right.
that's true wisdom. I think more people need to kind of grasp that for sure.
What is good, everyone? Deanna here with Label Free Podcast. Autumn is in the air, the pumpkins are in the patch, and our friends at Manscaped are here to make sure your man doesn't carve his pants pumpkins when he's grooming, if you know what I mean. Make sure he's keeping things fresh this fall with the leaders in male grooming and their brand new 4th edition performance package. Ladies, do we really want to cuddle up with a dude who isn't trimmed? I know I don't. My man's keeping it tight. Get him to take the leap into fall with Manscaped. Help him join the 2 million men worldwide using Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code LabelFree20. Again, go to manscaped.com and use the code LabelFree20 for 20% off and free shipping. And so do you, as part of what you're offering with some of your clients, do you help them find that, to help them find that, to be able to tune into some of their stuff?
Good Lord. It is. I've had clients for years who still struggle with this. But if we're honest with ourselves, we still struggle with it sometimes too, right?
Sure.
It's just we see it a little bit clearer. Oh yeah, you would be surprised. I mean, I have people coming a day out of surgery coming to work out. Like, they'll have like a wrist thing. And they're like, oh, I'll just modify it. I'm like, how about you take the extra day? You're just coming off of this anesthesia. Like, let's wait. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. You would be, well, I guess you wouldn't be surprised because but man, yeah. It's funny how people, they get this black or white attitude of, well, I need to work out because that's good, and that's it. And like, well, no, well, it'll be good in a couple of days, but right now you need that off time, right? That's actually going to benefit your body. Yeah,
That almost has a negative impact if you don't take that time to let your body.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. If you work out, so a lot of people don't know this, but if you work out when you're sick, you're actually doing more harm than good because you're not going to make any gains when you're sick, and you're also going to delay your recovery.
So I agree with that to an extent. But I feel like if you have like a cold,
Well, sick is sick. Yeah, we got to define sick, right?
Yeah.
Sick is a big. Sick
yeah,
sick can mean a lot of different things. Yeah.
right. Like a
Yeah.
major sickness, like COVID or a flu, like those
Right.
are pneumonia. Those are things like. But I feel like a cold for me. If I get a cold and I show up to the gym, I sweat it out. Like I feel
Yes.
so much better.
Jog. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, we need we're getting, yeah. See, that's why I don't like black and white. And when I meet with clients, it's more of like a massaged conversation. But yeah. I agree with that too. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, good. Because you go sweat it out, take your vitamins, drink lots of water. You'll be good to the next day. Let's go.
Yeah. No, and people forget that too. It's so funny. I've had people forever, and we'll be 45 minutes into a cardio class. I'm like, where's your water? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You got to take a couple of sips, guys. Like,
Yeah.
It's funny, right?
Definitely need your water for sure. I actually carry a gallon around with me so that I make sure that I'm getting my gallon of water in. I still do it even when I'm not prepping because you forget. For me, I'll forget because I'm just so busy. And I think that's what people like. If you have clients or anybody out there struggling with their water intake, find something that works for you so that you are getting that necessary amount of water a day. Our bodies are made up of what is it, 80% water?
Yeah, it's
That's why when we have full moons, everybody's going crazy because the moon controls the water. It controls like our big bodies of water. So when
our tides.
What's that?
The tides.
Right.
Yeah.
So when the moon is full and people are starting to act a little weird, it's because it's having an effect on like all the water in your body. So drink your water. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. I'm going to jump into some of your questions here before we start wrapping things up. What is a powerful breath practice?
Okay, so my favorite is called box breathing. Okay, I don't know if you've heard of this.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
So are we gonna do it are we gonna do an exercise right now?
Yeah, sure. You want to?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so you can do this eyes open or closed. Doesn't matter. I like to have my eyes closed so I can really tune into what's going on.
Close my eyes.
And we want to practice that deep diaphragmatic breathing. So we're breathing from our belly. Okay. And some people have to practice that, and that's fine. Okay. Sometimes it helps to put your hand on your belly. So you can actually feel it going in and out. Now, this is the important part. It's all going to be going through your nose. because you have this little cluster of nerves in the back of your nasal cavity. When that gets activated, or when the air rushes over, it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest.
Okay.
Okay, so what you do is you breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, out for a count of 4, and then hold for a count of 4. So it looks like a box. And we'll do this all together. All right, so ready, guys? So we're just going to start exhaling, and then inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Clear your mind. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold, and then just let go. So I like to do that for a few minutes.
Woo.
Yeah, right. And right after just a couple of breaths, you start to feel it a little bit. But if you do it for 5 minutes a day, then you really focus. What I do is I try to clear my mind at first, and then I really focus my mind on, like, what is my objective for the day? And I'll actually visualize my day as I'm doing this.
Wow.
Now, when I lead this in class, sometimes I don't do it with them. I just do it in the very beginning and the end, because some people have smaller lungs than others. So like when I go through a yoga class, sometimes I hyperventilate because the teacher's predominantly female, and there's like inhale, exhale, and I'm like, well, it's too much. Like, so I don't like to actually lead people for a long time because I don't know their lung size.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone who's done it, they really like it. Yeah.
I think breath work is really important. I don't do it as much as I should, but when I do, I make sure I'm very like aware when I do my yoga, and even when I'm training, like, your inhale and exhale when you're working out, just, is very good for blood flow and all that. And I think a lot of people are holding their breath when they're pumping.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, it's so bad for you. Breathe, 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 breathe. You gotta breathe.
Yeah. And this as a trainer, you'll see blood pressure spike and drop and spike and drop, and people are holding their breath when they're lifting. It's like, well, no. Let's breathe, guys.
Breathe through it. You gotta get that blood flowing. One more question, and then I'm gonna have you plug all your links. What are some supplements that help? And that's a very broad question. So can we narrow that down in regards to what is help for what?
Sure. So my big thing that I try to target is inflammation.
Okay.
Okay, because that's also another, I don't want to say possible cause. It is a cause of depression, but like I say, it's not the only cause.
Right.
But it's also cause of pain, and anybody can fight inflammation. In fact, one of the best compliments I got was, "Hey, this book is actually really good for anyone." So that was actually a really nice compliment. But yeah, so I love turmeric.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of
Tea. Yeah.
absolutely. So a lot of people cook with turmeric. I like the capsules because it's one capsule is like the equivalent of eating like 1,000 turmeric roots.
Oh,
So
wow.
I really like the concentrated, compounds. And just the important thing is make sure if your capsule doesn't have it, make sure your food then has a little bit of black pepper, because that's going to increase the bioavailability of it, which means your body can absorb it a lot easier as opposed to taking it alone. I would say about half of the capsules you'll find will have a little bit of black pepper in there, and that's why.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Another one I really love is flaxseed oil. Well, I mean, really omega-3s. I mean, some people, I take a flaxseed in the morning and a fish oil at night, just because I'm doing so much training and I'm trying to fight that inflammation. Of course, you're always going to talk to your doctor, right? And see, just in case you're taking anything, you don't want any of this stuff interfering with anything.
Right.
But yeah, those two really safe and really good. If you're vegan or vegetarian, whatever, the flaxseed oil, you're going to get about there. It's the ALA fat.
Yeah.
Okay. A little boring, but if you want to read the book, it's in there.
No. I think I thank you for educating our listeners. I think that it's important because I'm very big in supplementation. Huge.
Yeah.
I have my morning pills and I have my night pills. Everything's for the morning to get me started in my day, help with my metabolism, my skin, joints, blah 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 blah.
Oh, we are too much alike. All right, and then this is a big one for people in the Northeast, and I don't know if you probably don't experience this or know this, but they say up to 80% of people in the Northeast are extremely low on vitamin D.
Interesting.
Because we don't get the sunlight. We actually have a lot of cloudy days here.
Okay.
So I was actually so low on vitamin D, I had to get prescription vitamin D.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, they were finding little cracks in my bones, and I was a healthy guy, had a great diet, and working out all the time. But it's just the lack of sun. You need that sun to be able to absorb the vitamin D. So vitamin D is a huge one. Get your levels checked, especially if you're in the Northeast or anywhere, I guess, in the northern half of the country, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's, see, I mean, I just was in Miami. I got enough vitamin D probably for the
You're
year.
Nah, yeah, you're all good. You're all good.
All right, before we wrap things up, Zach, can you plug any? You're not big on social media, so whatever links you want to plug, drop them right now.
Thank you. I do have a Facebook page that I don't push too much, but it's just facebook.com/ the official depression relief playbook.
Okay, cool.
And then, so simple enough, right? And then really the big one is just Amazon, is where you can find the book there. And, and I'm open to any emails. If anyone wants to shoot me an email, I'm always open to chat, or, like I said, I'll shoot anyone that chapter if they want to read a part of it.
Perfect. I will put all the links in the description of the episode. Any last words of wisdom or advice you'd like to leave with the audience before I let you go?
Yeah. So if you do know anyone suffering, I'm going to give you two pieces of advice.
Okay, perfect.
If you know anyone suffering, this was kind of almost more developed to be a gift, because a lot of the people suffering aren't going to go out and reach for help. They don't have your attitude where get up there, put the one foot in front of the other. They're not going to go out and reach it. So it's kind of written as a gift. Second, if you are depressed, of course, you want to practice forgiveness with yourself, but practice forgiveness with other people, because they don't understand, and that's okay. They can't, unless they've lived through it. They can't understand, and you have to forgive them for some things that may seem off-putting or even rude or insensitive. Forgive them. They just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Very, very. Thank you. That was. I would agree. I can be a little bit insensitive towards stuff like that because I'm hardwired. So I am. It's the truth. So
A bodybuilder being hardwired? No.
What can I say? But thank you for that reminder to be a little bit more sensitive. You guys, thank you again for being a guest, Zach.
No, thank you. It's an honor.
We could have been talking for hours because we got a lot of synergies here. So we'll have to have you back maybe in a couple
Thank you so much.
See where your vitamin D levels are then.
Oh, I'm good now.
All right, you guys, this is your host, Deanna Kuempel with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, follow, share, all that good stuff. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.